sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sing. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the support and love you all shower me here with. I am truly grateful, and you are special. Thank you so much. So today, I think that was yesterday night. It's more like today, you know. The police had a press conference where they explain everything in full details. The warrant is actually out, and the suspects in custody. Police gives names of the people that are in custody and the warrants and all that. And it happened that a majority of black people did not get any warrant or are not in police custody, but the police is asking the man with I think they called his name. I can't remember they already know his name. So they are asking him to turn himself in. And I am also saying it is smart to turn yourself in. And then black people are also getting ready to also do what they are supposed to do, because turning himself in, and he is going to be needing a very good attorney for this, right? And I am really happy that, did I tell you all that man they started in is not even a security. That man is a co-captain. You can imagine. And everything was read, like from the press conference, everything was read in full detail, how they started attacking him. I did not hear where they said a black person started attacking a white person. It was all white people that started attacking black people, a black person, and then so the whole thing now spread all over and the rest of it. So I am really happy that they released this press conference, and it also made us understand more what really happened and the rest of it. You know what? I am just gonna roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And thanks for them, because they really made us understand some certain things we did not even know. So let me.
Whoa, the mayor and the police department just had the Montgomery press conference. They detailed actually what happened in the riverboat incident. They named warrants for, I believe, 4 white males. They said one of them are already in custody, and they asked chairman to call into the police department so he can come in for an interview. A lot in this press conference was news that we didn't know in the public. One thing that was contrary to popular belief was that wasn't a security guard that initially got jumped on. That was a co-captain. And before that even happened, it was a lot of obscene gestures and obscenities that went on towards his way. But without further ado, check out this press conference. It's so much information that we didn't know. Watch the whole thing and meet me in the comments.
On this day, there were 227 passengers aboard that vessel. The incident occurred between a co-captain of the Harriet II vessel and a private boat owner and his family. As the Harriet attempted to dock in its designated space, designated and reserved due to the gangway access as well as the mooring requirements, the private boat was docked in its space, prohibiting safe docking of the Harriet. The captain of the Harriet remained away from the dock for nearly 40 to 45 minutes as he attempted to contact the operators of the private boat via PA system. They were only responded to with obscene gestures, curse words, and taunting. The co-captain was then picked up by a separate vessel and brought to the pier in an attempt to have a conversation with the private boat owners and or have those boats moved so that the Harriet could dock. A confrontation ensued between the co-captain and Mr. Pickett, the co-captain, being attacked by several members of the private boat. Several members of the Harriet II came to Mr. Pickett's defense, engaging in what we all have seen since on social media. I'll give you a timeline as to where the calls came in and the Montgomery Police Department's response. The original call came in at 7 p.m. as a typical disturbance. The caller, who was the captain of the Harriet, was very calm and not in distress. As additional calls were received, at 7:15 p.m., the call was dispatched to the Montgomery Police Department. 7:18, the first units, 4 Montgomery Police Department officers arrived on scene, with 3 shortly thereafter. 13 individuals were detained and brought to police headquarters for questioning and interviews. Those interviews lasted several hours. At that time, all parties involved were released pending further investigation, but were all given instructions on how to secure warrants on combatants. We have since consulted with and are continuing to work with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, our state police agency, the Montgomery's DA's office, and the local office of the FBI. This investigation is ongoing and more charges are likely. We encourage the public to continue to send us additional videos or evidence relating to this case. Those can be sent to Star Center at montgomeryal.gov or at our secret witness, 334-625-4000. The victims in this case, the co-captain, Mr. Damian Pickett, black male, and a 16-year-old white male juvenile who was struck by the owners and operators of the private boat. The suspects thus far have been identified as Richard Roberts, white male, 48 years old, with 2 outstanding warrants for assault, 3rd degree. Alan Todd, white male, 23 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. And Zachary Shipman, white male, 25 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. We have instructed those individuals to turn themselves into law enforcement, and as at this time, 1 is secured and in custody. The other 2 are set to turn themselves in within the next hour. We are also asking for Mr. Reggie Gray, the black male, 42 years old, who was seen wielding that folding chair, to contact the Montgomery Police Department for further interviews and as part of this investigation.
I told you, crazy. What do y'all think? Do y'all agree? One thing I can say is, unless I missed it, no warrants have been out for any black men, and all warrants that have been out have been for white males, but the suspects are a black male and a white male. Tell me what y'all think about Chairman and anything else that I might have missed. Hit me in the comments.
The suspects thus far have been identified as Richard Roberts, white male, 48 years old, with 2 outstanding warrants for assault, 3rd degree. Alan Todd, white male, 23 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. And Zachary Shipman, white male, 25 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. We have instructed those individuals to turn themselves into law enforcement, and as at this time, 1 is secured and in custody. The other 2 are set to turn themselves in within the next hour. We are also asking for Mr. Reggie Gray, the black male, 42 years old, who was seen wielding that folding chair, to contact the Montgomery Police Department for further interviews and as part of this investigation.
Police Department did a press conference this afternoon in regards to the Battle of Montgomery. And for some reason, I can only find the first 2 minutes of the press conference. I can't find any other video where the police chief goes in to explain who's being arrested and what they're being arrested for and warrants that have been issued. And I wonder why. Because all of that information is surrounding the Saltine Brigade. But here's the first 2 minutes of the press conference.
Area 2 river cruise ship was fully operational, operated from a designated space along the river. The Harriet takes passengers on 2-hour tours up and along the Alabama River throughout the day. On this day, there were 227 passengers aboard that vessel. The incident occurred between a co-captain of the Harriet II vessel and a private boat owner and his family. As the Harriet attempted to dock in its designated space, designated and reserved due to the gangway access as well as the mooring requirements, the private boat was docked in its space, prohibiting safe docking of the Harriet. The captain of the Harriet remained away from the dock for nearly 40 to 45 minutes as he attempted to contact the operators of the private boat via PA system. They were only responded to with obscene gestures, curse words, and taunting. The co-captain was then picked up by a separate vessel and brought to the pier in an attempt to have a conversation with the private boat owners and or have those boats moved so that the Harriet could dock. A confrontation ensued between the co-captain and Mr. Pickett, the co-captain, being attacked by several members of the private boat. Several members of the Harriet II came to Mr. Pickett's defense, engaging in what we all have seen since on social media.
That's right. The Avengers came on in by land and by sea to help defend that captain because he was just doing his job. Now, y'all know I follow some journalists, so some journalists who've been tuned in to this news story has got the information that I'm looking for. And that is who was actually charged. 13 people were detained but were ultimately released. Richard Roberts, 48, white male, warrant for assault, 3rd degree. Alan Todd, white male, 1 warrant pending. Zachary Shipman, 25, white male, 1 warrant pending. These are misdemeanor charges. All of the warrants are for the owners of the private boat. 1 is currently in custody. 2 are set to turn themselves in. Reggie Gray, the man, the hero, the superhero, the one that was wielding the white folding chair, he is asked to contact the police department. Currently, the investigation is still ongoing as they are continuing to review footage. I'll keep my eyes open, especially where Mr. Reggie Gray is concerned, because they are requesting that he contacts the police department. And it is in his best interest to contact the police department since they know who he is. And should he be arrested, we need to be on the lookout for a GoFundMe because he's going to need funding in order for him to get an attorney so he can have a proper defense. I think Montgomery got this right. I think they got it right. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Put it down.
And as part of this investigation,
Here are the charges and the people that are being charged, but I don't know nothing about no folding chair. Do you guys know anything about a folding chair? Because when I was watching that video, I did not see no man swinging a folding chair. I have no idea what these officers are talking about. I seen a folding chair on its own going around hitting people, but I never seen no man with a folding chair. Did you guys see any person with a folding chair? I must be blind. I ain't seen nobody. I'm happy that none of the men involved are facing any criminal charges, and I'm happy that 16-year-old Aquaman will not be facing any charges as well. But this folding chair guy that they're looking for, I have no idea who they're talking about.
Firstly, I know a lot of people are saying things like, how can you condone violence? Men were hitting women and punching them and hitting them with chairs. And obviously, this is not anyone condoning violence against women. That's not what this is about. But I will say, as a woman, if I jump into a brawl like this, I have to go into it with this expectation that I'm going to have to fight my way through it like a man, because I'm jumping into a fight with a bunch of men. And for the most part, from what I saw, the black men were leaving the white women pretty much alone, and black women were jumping in to fight the white women who were hitting the black men. That was what I saw from the majority of the videos that I've seen. But I will say there's something very gratifying in watching white women, and again, I'm going to clarify, to watch racist white women get what they have coming to them. And I'll tell you why. Because who do you think it is that supports and raises these entitled racist white men to be so emboldened and so entitled to think that they can attack a black man in broad daylight and outnumber him by 5 or 6 or 7 and get away with it? It's their racist white mothers and wives. And I'll be honest, I, for one, I'm kind of here for it. So forgive me if I don't feel bad watching them experience the consequences of their own actions. And again, let me emphasize, I'm not saying all white women. I'm talking about racist white women who raise, support, and marry racist white men. Okay? Anyone condoning violence against women. That's not what this is about.
Watch her whole video regarding that brilliant Montgomery boat brawl. But she talks about how the white women, specifically the racist white women who got involved, basically got what was coming to them. They got into that fight. They started hitting the black men. I mean, how do they not expect to not get hit back? But that's the thing. Specifically, racist white women, not all white women, I mean, I'm just talking about racist white women here. We know that they use their words to attack people of color in really indirect and insidious ways. I mean, it all starts by trying to ban the history of people of color in America. This is from a video I made a while back, but trying to ban books. This goes all the way back to the Civil War, by the way, trying to ban books that talk about slavery, that talk about critical race theory, that talk about LGBTQ issues. They try to get these books banned from classrooms and this history erased because they claim it's for the sake of protecting children from difficult topics, but we all know what they really mean. I mean, look at the way Jennifer Aniston attacked Jamie Foxx by twisting his words by saying she's not anti-Semitic, therefore implying that he is, even though his post is not anti-Semitic at all. I mean, I went through 14 years of a Catholic education in the whitest of white neighborhoods, and when I read that, the first thing I thought was, well, fake friends, obviously Judas. Like, Judas's betrayal of Jesus was the impetus for his death. And racist white women using words against people of color, I mean, it all goes back to Emmett Till, too. Using their words to create violent outcomes, but hiding behind this facade of respectability or civility, quote unquote. And because their words are used in such a way, for the person on the receiving end of that, you want to enact physical violence, but because of the rules of civility, you can't. Because you know that the first person to throw the punch is the one who gets in trouble, despite what the other person may have said, even if they may have really fucking deserved it. So that's why seeing those racist white women in Montgomery get their asses kicked too was just so satisfying. Again, they ran into the fight. They were throwing punches directed at the black men. And I'm going to end with a story that's kind of an example of the violent ways that racist white women use words against people of color. Now, this was years ago, before I had a strong sense of who I was and what I stood for, before I started speaking out about a lot of things, because I was young, I was insecure, I was still learning about myself, but that's besides the point. So I was in Nashville in this room full of white people. Only person of color, and there's about a group of like 6 of us talking, and as usual, conversations cross over, but you can sort of hear what everyone else is talking about. But this one white woman who is in another conversation says to the other person that she's talking to, she says to that person, ugh, immigrants and college-educated liberals really bring this country down. And she glances over at me knowing damn well that I am the daughter of immigrants, I am a college-educated liberal, and she gave me that glance like she knew I could hear her, and she was daring me to do something about it. Of course, the impulse was to slap her, but I couldn't do that, especially surrounded by white people who were probably definitely cut from the same cloth that she was. So it was like her using her words in that way was a way of putting me in my place, a violent act of reminding me that I'm lesser than, but using words to enact that violence. Anyway, if that were to happen now, I probably would have just thrown my drink in her face, because I'm old enough where I just don't give a fuck anymore. And something like that does deserve a drink thrown in your face. But yeah, that's my message to you. I learned not to take that kind of shit anymore. I hope you know very well by this point, you do not deserve to ever take that kind of shit from anyone. And for all the black men and women involved in the Montgomery brawl, bravo. I love you. I wish you a great day, week, month, and year, and life.
This is all I got from the video, and man, now we understand better, like from the conference. Yeah, he was a co-captain, not even a security, and you can imagine them fighting a co-captain. So I am sure that most of the charges were mainly on white people, not even on black people. Our Aquaman is not involved, and also we are waiting for the black man with the chair to turn himself in, and you all know that he will be needing help actually to get a great attorney as time goes on. We are gonna wait till like he turn himself in, and then we will know where to pick it up from, because trust me, I know that young man is gonna need help eventually. And if there is any link that comes out, maybe for good fun or something like that, trust me, I am going to still drop it here so we all can do the ones we can. And we are really grateful for what they did, for them coming out, making everybody proud, ending so many things, because it's been like there is a pattern to, you know, some certain things, and so it is more like we breaking that pattern. And some people are gonna be like, black people don't stay together, man. Like, says who? I love us. I really do love us, and I am really very happy that, like, you know, everybody's all happy, not just me. Everyone is all happy, all the world. I mean, did I tell you all that this thing actually is all over Nigerian media? Like, I saw it all online, people talking about it on black people, like, you know, Nigerian people also on Instagram talking about it. So we're like, oh man, we need to go get us more cheers, and all. It was all funny and all that. So it is amazing that it is not just only, like, you know, in United States. Like, a lot of people outside United States like saw it, they know about it, they are also talking about it and all that. So kudos to everyone who were involved, and those that are also ready and getting, like, people that are getting ready to like, you know, donate and all that, because it is all part of it. Like, you know, I am very proud to be a black woman, and I am sure you will say the same thing. And then now it is them knowing that black people aren't playing, because like anywhere you see a black person, you see someone bothering them. When they go fishing, somebody is bothering them. When they want to, somebody is actually somewhere, even in your own house, your neighborhood, someone is actually out somewhere trying to bother you. I don't ever wake up to see a black person moving around looking for a way to bother a white person, but it is always the other way around. And somebody is asking, what if the coin flips? Which coin is flipping? Like it has not been flipping all this while. So it is us now trying to turn things around and make sure that we are not going that, like, you know, it is time to take over, and we have really fully taken over. And that is something I am very happy for. I am just gonna say thank you all so much for the support. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.